The sensor there by the door, it's not working. You see? So then, those customers started coming just before load shedding. Then they were filling their trolley, just filling it up. We were even watching like, yo, we are doing well today. These people, it's not even month end. They were filling the trolley. Then they were standing by the door. Then the lights was just going, zoo. Then these ones were, bah. Then the lights was coming back, zoo. Then the shelves were empty. It was like a magic trick, Trevor. Yeah, then the owner of the shop came. They didn't believe us when we told them what happened because the camera rate was also off because of load shedding. Then they said we are the ones who stole it. And because we are responsible for stock control, we decided as the staff, we are going to do something about it. So now, when we see it's going to be load shedding, 5-2, we just close the door and we lock. And then we just stand there where we can see each other. Yeah. Does it make sense? I was like, Tabo, not only does it make sense, but this has instantly become my favorite shoplifting story of all time. Are you like the ingenuity of South Africans? Huh? To have the idea to think of that. That's easily my favorite shoplifting story. Easily. Because I love shoplifting stories. I love them. I love reading about them. You know, hearing how people try to shoplift or like shoplifting syndicates. I'm always intrigued by how people do it. One of my favorites actually, started during COVID in the United States. Right? There was a lot of shoplifting and it evolved when COVID ended, it continued. What somebody discovered was that there's a hack with the sensors at the front of the shop, okay? And so somebody discovered that if you have an item that has a tag on it, right? You know, the metal tag on clothes or, you know, the little sticker. We all know what happens when you walk past the sensor, it beeps. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Even if you hide it. Beep, 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 beep. Right? We all know how it works. But then somebody discovered that if you have the item and then you shake, it doesn't beep. I swear on my life. Guys, it went viral on TikTok. People started doing it. You must try it. You must try it. You must. No, I'm not saying you must steal, guys. I'm not saying you must steal. I'm saying go to a shop, pay for something. When you've got the receipt, tell them, please don't take off the tag. I want to try something. But you must have your receipt because I don't want you guys blaming me now. Just try it. Take the tag, go to the door, and shake. It doesn't beep. That used to be my favorite story. Because it's true and because it caused chaos. Yeah, stores in America started losing stock. They didn't know what was happening. Because they were like, what's happening? Nothing's beeping. You know? And they were like, is there anything strange going on? They're like, no, some people are just shaking when they leave. But we don't know what it is. I was like, that's something that could never happen in South Africa. Like, yeah, South African security guards, they don't play those games. Because one of the parts that made the story extra special in America was that some security guards didn't want to stop people from leaving the store shaking because they didn't want to offend anybody who might be shaking for other reasons. Yeah, and then they didn't want to offend people. But here, there's no one who's afraid of offending anybody. Which you think there's a security who's scared of wokeness? In South Africa, here the security guard, he'll just look at you and be like, hey, stop shaking, wana. Hey, susheka apa. Hey. So that used to be my favorite story, by far. Until what I learned at home. Because here's the thing I want to know about this. Who was the first? is how efficient. Yo, FlySafair is on another level, guys. I don't know who's running that airline, but they're serious, eh? They don't waste time. They make sure they make their money. They make you pay for everything. Everything. Yeah, you buy the plane ticket. That's just the beginning of the transaction. Yeah, you want a specific seat, you pay. You want to bring a bag, you pay. Yeah, you want food on the plane, you pay. Yeah, you want to board early, you pay. Those people, they're finding everything, yeah? It's only a matter of time before you're on a FlySafair flight, and 10 minutes before landing, they come up to your seat like, I'm sorry, sir, it looks like you didn't pay for the landing option. So we're gonna need you to jump out now if you don't mind. You're like, yeah, but can I pay now? Sorry, sir, we don't take cards. I don't think I've ever been on an airline like FlySafair. It was the most South African experience I could ever ask for. Everything was different. Everything. The flight was supposed to be 2 hours flying to Cape Town. It took 1 hour 30. Everyone said it's normal. How? How? How are you getting to a place 30 minutes earlier? You're flying in a straight line, in the sky. How? People are like, oh, that's what happens with FlySafair. No, what do you mean that's what happens? Doesn't that freak you out? So what's happening up there? Is the pilot taking shortcuts? He's just there, busy cutting. Yeah, cut here, double up. 10 by stratas, 10 by stratas. Everything on that flight is different. When you land and you get to the gate, you're not allowed to stand up. No one told me that. Yeah, I stood up by myself. I was there. Everyone around me was like, I was like, I want to get my bag. They're like, oh, you must wait. You must wait. Yo, guys, and the way people talk in that plane, it's almost like FlySafair came with a shambok one day to everyone. Because not a single passenger. I sat back down, I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, you wait for Safair to say you can stand. You don't want to see them get angry. What did they do to you, South Africa? You can tell me. That whole flight was different. Oh, you know what was interesting? There was no recline button. Yeah, that was different. Yeah, there's no, you can't recline your seat. Yeah, the seat is there. And then I got into it. And then I was like, okay, let me relax. And then I was like, whoa, where's the, okay. And then, you know, sometimes you don't know where a thing is. So I was looking, I'm busy pulling things. I'm like, where's, and this is something that could only happen in South Africa. There's this Indian guy sitting next to me. And he sees me, because he's fidgeting around, sees me fidgeting. And at some point he turns and he's like, hey, Trevor, what's wrong there, man? And I said, no, man, I can't find the recline button. And without missing a beat, this man was like, oh, no, don't worry. They sell it there when you start flying. Yeah, they're going to bring it with the Pringles and the water and stuff. You can buy it. It's 55 Rand. Guys, he said it so seriously. And I'd paid for so many other things that I believed it. I was like, God damn, this airline is crazy. I was like, what an insane airline. I was like, they make you pay for the recline button? You know what an idiot I looked like when they came with that cart? They was pushing that cart down. I was like, and sir, what would you like? I was like, can I please have the recline button? I want to lean back. Everything on FlySafair was fun. Everything. My favorite thing on FlySafair is that it feels personal. That's what I like. You know, I feel like I'm on a South African airline and it feels personal, it feels intimate. I feel like they're flying me, mostly because they look at me. You know, when they're making the announcements, you see who's making the announcements. That doesn't happen when you fly anymore. Flying has become so impersonal. You know, they just put down that video monitor and then you just watch a little safety video. You know, there's no warmth, there's no character. You've seen it probably when you travel, when you leave South Africa. You know, when you fly Emirates, you know, and then they'll be like, please watch the safety video. And then the video comes on. شكرا خيلت ولا خيلت ورليلا إماراتي شكرا دايلا كتور ورليلا السلام عليكم ما لكرليلا ولا كتورو 다지 إماراتي كديلا ولا كتيلا كا حبيبي لكرلويا يلا يرتا كترلواري 나티카 إماراتي هايتو كورلا كيدا محمد خليا لا بن صالة كدراينا أعطيك خليل بردينا برديا شكرا. Welcome to Emirates. That's not personal. That's not for me. FlySafair. Feels like it's custom made. You see the person, they take that telephone off the wall. On our flight, they had one person making the announcement and another person doing the actions. Yo, guys, I was having the time of my life. Because that woman took the phone off, she's like,
"Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, aboard this FlySafair flight. Please pay attention to the following safety announcement. You will find the seatbelt will be fastened like this. And unfastened like this.
just to make that person feel like they were actually doing something worthwhile, I did it with them. When they were like, unfastened, I was like,
Please also note you will find a life vest under your seat in case of a water landing emergency. Place it over your head and pull the strips to inflate the jacket. If it does not inflate, you can blow into the red toggles on either side.
I love it. It was interesting. It was unique. It felt like I was home. You know, the whole flying experience felt like, the only thing that doesn't feel unique is the pilots. That's what I've noticed. Actually, everywhere in the world. If you want to feel what a country's like, listen to the flight attendants, right? But then the pilots, no matter where you are all the same. It's almost like they went to the same school where they've been trained the same way to fly. They've all got that same sexy pilot's voice. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, flight attendants can sound however they like. You know, they do that thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. No, there's no pilot like that. When pilots come on, they always do that thing of theirs. Boom.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Aboard this FlySafair flight. This is your captain, John Davies speaking, and I'm going to be taking you down. It's going to be approximately 2 hours. We're just waiting for the last few bags to get loaded, and we're going to be closing the doors, heading off shortly in a northeasterly direction. Taking to cruising.
Like, why are they always running out of breath? Is there a reason that pilots cannot complete one single sentence when they're making announcements? Every time that they're like,
We're going to be at a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet.
it always sounds like they're getting head in the cockpit. Can anybody tell me why? Why does it sound like every pilot is receiving immense amounts of pleasure and they can't get a single sentence out? Every single pilot. It's like someone started just before they started. They were there and they're like, no.
Welcome, everybody. Let me introduce you to your cabin crew on this flight. In the rear, we've got Tandeka, we've got John, and we've got Liesl who are going to be looking after you. Up front, my co-pilot, Mr. Defette's going to be looking after us. Flight time should be not too long. Keep your seatbelts fastened in case of any unexpected turbulence. I'll let you know once it's safe to move around, but until, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Oh, FlySafair. Felt like home.
Love you, Trevor.
Ah, man, love you too. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. You don't understand how I miss this, guys. You know, how I miss doing shows back home, how I miss being home, you know, watching the news, talking to people, getting a sense of what's happening. You know, there's nothing like being in the country, feeling it. You know, because I like when I was coming back, I was like, I wonder if is it going to be the same? Is it going to have changed? Will I still understand? And then, look, 99% of it, I still understand. The 1% I've realized is because I was away for too long. Yeah, because the country moves in a direction. Right? That's just what happens. And the longer you're away, the less you move with the people. I've noticed that in small things. I need to catch up to where South Africans are in certain things. You know, one of them being load shedding. Yeah, no, I'm behind when it comes to load shedding. Yeah, because when I left South Africa, when I left, like load shedding was like 1 hour, maybe every few weeks. Do you know that type of thing? And now when I come back, they're like, it's stage 6. And I'm like, is this Mario Brothers? I didn't even know. Just every single